Barbara Broccoli. We talked about I don't remember when, but we talked about it a while back in a previous episode that Barbara Broccoli did an interview. I like calling her Broccoli instead of, because I used to call her Barbara Broccoli, but I'm like, Barbara Broccoli sounds a little more fancy. So we'll call her that. But yeah, she did an interview or something or other. There was an expose done where she referred to people over at Amazon as a bunch of effing idiots. And apparently Jeff Bezos gripped him behind, took offense to it, and apparently he wanted her gone. So, according to IndieWire, they said in a new report from the Hollywood Reporter, Amazon CEO Bezos was determined to take all creative control for the IP through Amazon MGM Studios, which was announced in February 2025 for a reported cost of $1 billion. Feeling that price tag? Sheer retaliation. Now, in December of 2024, the Wall Street Journal, which has literally become a paper for robber barons and Trump taint liquors, so take with it as you will, because at one point, the Wall Street Journal was all about there was opinion pieces, but now that he's kind of come under this thing where he wants to make it more of an opinion piece for the right because he wants his tax cuts. Why do you think he was hobnobbing with Trump during the inauguration? He wants his tax cuts. If he plans on doing any kind of murders down the road, he wants to go to Trump and see, like, you see, I got rid of all the liberal media. I got rid of all the people that had opinion pieces about you. I killed all their stories. You even had somebody who worked over at the Wall Street Journal that quit because of the recent shift in how legacy media is handling our current political climate and trying to shut down voices. Hence why a lot of people are running over to social media, TikTok, YouTube, that sort of thing, to tell the people the truth, because we don't really have an outlet where we could speak and be the voice for the voiceless. The Republican side got like 8,000 different things, from News Nation to Fox News to Daily Mail with their bullshit, because I'm about to get on their ass too, them old fucked up teeth having Brit bastards, because I saw that mess that y'all posted in regards of the James Bond thing, where they were trying to say, oh, well, Jeff Bezos has this plan and he's going to keep James Bond. He's going to be a man and he's going to be all the things that he was in the past because of Hollywood and wokeness. And I was like, here you crackers go, weaponizing a word because y'all trying to make woke a bad thing. Woke is about being aware of what's going on with people who are marginalized in a community. So what are you talking about in regards of, oh, well, because the last James Bond, you got to see a side of him that y'all never saw. Yeah, that he was being sexual, he was drinking, and he was being like that man's man and stuff that he's always been made out to be. But you also got to see this vulnerable side. What's wrong with men being vulnerable? Y'all trying to say being vulnerable and showing that you actually genuinely care for a woman is wokeness? Whoever wrote the article probably ain't seen pussy since he came out of their mother. Whoever wrote the article, because I didn't look at the name. I didn't give a damn enough to care about the name. So I just wanted to kind of give y'all a whole idea about this whole Wall Street Journal BS that's going on with that and Jeff Bezos, and why I'm just like not really all that excited, the more I read about him, taking over the Bond franchise. But this is what happens when you sell your IP to a certain thing. Well, technically it was MGM, but MGM got bought up by Amazon. So when new people come in and they come in with their money, the people that you worked with in the past are no longer there. So now you got these other people come in who have different ideas, and these may not be ideas that Barbara necessarily agrees with, because she's like, this is not what Bond is about. I'm trying to protect the legacy and the integrity of this franchise. But here comes Jeff Bezos, because he's saying, let's spend on something about Money Penny. It's about Money Penny, not like that. I don't want a whole show about him. I don't want a whole show about Q. If you're going to create other characters that are within the 007 universe and possibly give them a spinoff, or if you want to do something where it's just like a team of double O's, while James is off doing his own solo missions, you have another team of double O's who kind of come together and it's like a Mission Impossible-esque type thing, then that maybe I would be interested in. But I don't want no side shows of side characters. I'm not that interested. They're part of the ensemble for a reason. When we see stuff about Moneypenny, when we see stuff about M, when we see stuff about Q, who makes all the gadgets or whatever, they all work within that whole 007 thing. And if you don't care enough about the franchise, then maybe you should step away and stop thinking of, oh, well, we want toys and money. And like, this new generation don't care about no James Bond action figure, if that's where you're trying to go. But to get back to the story, so the Wall Street Journal published a piece in which Broccoli is quoted as telling her personal friends that Amazon executives were fucking idiots amid dealings with the Bond franchise. Now, as THR now stated, Bezos read her quote in the journal and got on the phone and said, I don't care what it costs, get rid of her. And this is according to an unnamed insider. The outlet further included how Broccoli bristled when Amazon content chief Jennifer Salk referred to Bond films as content. And Broccoli's half-brother Michael G. Wilson, who also steered the Bond franchise for decades, was iced out of meetings by Amazon executives. And this is what I was saying before. When you have people who come in with, throwing around their damn money and saying like, oh yeah, well, they don't, these are people who have not been around Barbara and Michael. So they don't understand the IP. All they hear is James Bond and they make money and people will see these things. Let's buy up the franchise and we'll just do whatever we want with it. They have no connection or no real connection or tie to this franchise. So there's like, yeah, let's look at it as content. When you say something like that, that makes it seem like you're not even interested in possibly releasing this in the theater. We're going to create a bunch of spinoffs. We're going to probably take the Bond films. We're going to throw, $300 million into the budget. We're going to go on social media, which is what Jeff Bezos did, and ask the audience, who would they like to see play James Bond? And of course, as usual, the Henry Cavill taint lickers jumped on social media and was like, we want Henry Cavill, because y'all want him in every fucking thing. Apparently, there's no other British actor that exists on this planet outside of Henry Cavill. He has to get every goddamn part. And this is not any shade towards Henry Cavill. I am a Henry Cavill fan. I like a lot of his stuff. The problem with Henry Cavill is he is not someone who sells tickets. Name one movie that he's been able to sell tickets to based off his name alone. I'll wait. And y'all better not say Superman because he was playing somebody who was a part of a pre-existing IP. The shit out my ass would pay $17 to go see a Superman movie. So Superman is based off a pre-existing IP in the Warner Brothers Superman universe. So that's not the same thing. I'm talking about a regular movie because y'all didn't go see that Extraordinary Gentleman, whatever the hell that movie was called. Y'all didn't go see half the movie. Y'all barely even sat around and watched The Witcher. And I like that show. Look at them. They went and sweating. He's gone. Now they brought in Liam Hemsworth. So, then they went on and said he wasted no time buying out longtime James Bond producer Barbara Broccoli after an alleged slight. So he's so in his damn feelings insensitive that he buys out a woman. But word on the street is Jeff Bezos scared of Donald Trump. I just don't understand how these people got all this money, but y'all scared of somebody getting on social media and just saying a couple of words and bullying you. Y'all scared of online bullying, like, get out of here. Y'all scared of a bunch of inbred motherfuckers getting on social media cursing y'all out because, Trump, said it's gonna hurt your wee little feelings and you won't get your little tax write-off and your tax cuts and all that other stuff. But that's all this old bullheaded bastard care about anyway. And don't even get me started on Lauren Sanchez. You need to tell her to stay away from getting them injections in her face because she is looking more like the damn Joker. If he was to go out and buy the Joker a franchise or Batman, he could cast her as the damn Joker. Or as that woman. Remember when in the original Joker, the Jack Nicholson one? Remember when you had the lady that actually looked like Jack Nicholson face in one of the scenes? That's what Lauren Sanchez be giving. So they said in a new report from the Hollywood Reporter, Amazon CEO was determined to take all creative control for the IP through Amazon MGM Studios, which was announced in February for a reported cost of $1 billion. And this was last year. Oh wait, no, this year actually. For a price tag, sheer retaliation. Now, the Wall Street Journal. Wait, did I write the same thing twice? Hold on. So they said the IndieWire reached out to representatives and they haven't responded. So the only Bond installment that has debuted since the MGM Amazon deal in 2022 has been a reality show series, 007 Road to a Million. But I heard that Robert was not pleased with that reality show series because it was just thrown on Amazon, that she didn't feel like it was properly promoted, and it just like came and went. I remember I saw it on there, but I didn't care enough to watch it. I don't even know what it's about. And I'm a Bond fan. So there was that. But then of course, Daniel Craig has stepped away from the franchise. And now they're trying to figure out who they want to play the next James Bond. They still haven't cast somebody. We've heard Idris Elba over the years. I don't think he should do it. I really feel like what they should do with, if everybody keep talking about Spy and Idris Elba, my opinion, I feel like they need to take more of the Triple X approach, not another Triple X movie, because those movies were terrible. But I'm talking about in the sense of creating a whole new franchise based off in the world of like a James Bond, but give Idris Elba his own, like, the inspiration. Because when you look at Triple X, it was clearly inspired by like James Bond and the over the topness and all this stuff, because that's what that was at the time. Those movies were not that great, but for the most part, they were trying to create something which was kind of inspired by James Bond. Why not have our own little spy series, franchise, whatever you want to call it, and have Idris Elba playing a super spy or something or another? We can create our own IPs without having to just be like, well, yeah, let's put Idris Elba up in it. Although it would be interesting to see, like, how does James Bond, a character who's black, navigate in a world of espionage as a black man traveling around the world, and what they have to deal with, the biases and the racism and all that other stuff. Like, that would be an interesting angle. But of course, if you did that, white people start feeling away. Oh, it's like, stop. Go find the nearest cliff and jump. That's what I usually say when it comes to people like that, because anytime you want to tell a story that's different, the racists be feeling away and they want to just throw around freaking words because they know it's a trigger. It's kind of like sleeper cell words. That is like, that's what it's become now. So there have been people that have suggested. I remember I even said Aaron Taylor Johnson would actually be a really good James Bond. I mean, yeah, his movies don't be really doing all that well either, but he's a phenomenal actor. But if you suck up Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's young enough, he's like in his 30s, where he could play Bond for a long time, that would be great. I've also heard another name, and I forget where I heard this from, but I saw this, I think yesterday or this morning. I don't remember. I heard Paul Mescal's name being thrown around. Now, I don't know if Paul Mescal would be a good idea. Here's the thing. He is young enough, but I know, like, y'all be shady on social media because I've heard people say that he looks old. But I think he's like 28, 29. So you can actually make that work for a long time. But they say he look older than his actual age. And I'm like, look, if that's due to drinking and smoking and stuff, you know how them Irish men are. So that probably comes from all that hard living. When you out here drinking and smoking, it does put a little age on your skin starting looking a little leathery. So we'll see how all this works out. Oh yeah, so I wanted to see, like, so we could hurry up and wrap this up. So it says Amazon is also looking to capitalize on the IP with spinoffs, like UK TV professional Aaron McGann speculated in the Marvel Studios S move, saying, yeah, they're trying to create a multiverse, which is, I don't know why everybody's always jumping into multiverses. I just think people are getting tired of the whole multiverse angle. That worked during like phase 3, but afterwards it's like people just don't care anymore. They just want a good story at this point. So yeah, they were talking about they want to do a TV series based on Moneypenny, the MI6 secretary. Who the hell gonna watch? Like I said, who gonna watch a movie about a damn secretary? As well as about Felix Leiter, who was a Bond CIA buddy, or maybe even something involving a female 007. And they said Broccoli and Wilson weren't interested. I remember they tried to do a whole female 00 in the last Bond movie. It was Lashana Lynch. I actually thought she was good in it. But if you want to make a series based off her, I mean, then again, she is on Day of the Jackal. I don't even know if she's going to be back for season 2 because I haven't finished season 1. I'm like 2 episodes behind on that because I got distracted and started watching other stuff. So I got to check on that and see if, that actually is going to work out. So they also said he and Broccoli were very reluctant to delegate use of the IP for 10 or 20 hours of a TV show. So they didn't want to do a TV show. They've never wanted to do that. Even Oz Perkins was asked, and Oz Perkins has directed a couple of horror movies. He did Long Legs, which I did not like. He also directed another film that I believe just came out, and the name freaking escapes me. Oh, The Monkey. That's what he did. I heard good things about The Monkey. I haven't seen it, but I heard that he directed that movie. So people are saying that movie's good. I didn't like Long Legs, but I'm definitely curious to check out The Monkey. He said he don't want to do a film on they said it was on Reddit. He said no because fuck Jeff Bezos. So he's not a Jeff Bezos fan, clearly. What you gonna do? Buy him out too because he said fuck Jeff Bezos? Now Oscar winner Edward Berger, who directed both Conclave and All Quiet on the Western Front, was rumored to be in talks with Bond producers before Amazon took over creative control. They said Berger told Variety that he's no longer interested after the Amazon deal was announced. So nobody wants to work with Amazon. So good luck trying to find somebody. And then I heard rumors of Christopher Nolan. They want to get him to come on board. I can't see him doing it. Like, I feel like he probably would do one, but I don't see him wanting to come on board and doing this film. So Christopher Nolan's all about creating his own original IPs. He's now directing The Odyssey, which, based off this cast alone, I'm really excited to see this movie when it comes out. And the only pre-existing IP, I guess, besides The Odyssey that we've seen Christopher Nolan take on was the Batman trilogy. So I don't know if he would want to come on board with Amazon, especially with them trying to tell him what he can and cannot put in his movies. He ain't gonna want to do it. So we'll see. But they said that Barbara Broccoli is no longer doing it, and she's at the heart of she is at the heart of this project. So I think it's something different. I don't know. Things have changed. We will certainly miss her very much. And so clearly, it's like, okay, well, this is what you want to do. You want to come on board and ruin this franchise? I'm gonna just let um Jeff Bezos come in and do his thing and screw up the franchise, and we'll see based off of the financial turnaround if people care. But I don't think he cares. Just like he don't care that he's lost, since he changed up over um the Wall Street Journal, since he went and changed that up, that and he lost so many subscribers because of now the direction that he's decided to take the Wall Street Journal. That's like a little drop in the bucket. He don't care. He make his money from all his other stuff. So it just seems like he don't care about that. All he cares about right now is appeasing the current president so that he can get his tax breaks, and that if any kind of mergers and stuff comes down the road, that Trump won't stand in the way of that. So he's going to be in his good graces until he's out of the office, which will be in 4 years, because this half the thing that he's staying for the rest of his life, sir. Somebody better get him dementia medication, because that's not happening. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story and the latest on Jeff Bezos and Barbara Broccoli and the drama that's going on behind the scenes per the Hollywood Reporter? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.